Future by Rated Pony Star, read by Deathlight, Chapter 4. The moment the call ended, Rebecca and I rushed as fast as we could to the Sparkle Memorial Hospital. The last time I was there was when Fluttershy's last son passed away. I hated hospitals, mainly because every time I came to these, someone I knew was going to die. I knew that Discord was going to pass away soon, but even after all these years, and going through so many deaths, I wasn't prepared for it. Discord wasn't just a close friend, he was the last of the friends I had before we came to Earth. We were the last of those who remembered our old world before Celestia's insane plan of converting humanity. A long time ago, I couldn't even stand him for his attitude and behavior. Now I was scared of losing him, like I was about to lose myself. As far as I knew, the whole thing was hushed up at the moment via Discord's request. It was Christmas, he didn't want others to know he was going to die soon, which was understandable. Every human loved Discord and grew up with him as their hero. Only Lyra received such attention, and when she died, all of Earth mourned her. It would be the same thing all over again when the news of this finally spreads throughout the world. So there I was at the hospital, listening to a pony doctor about something I wasn't paying attention to. All that mattered was heading to the door where Discord awaited me. Rebecca offered to come, but I told her to stay in the waiting room. This was something I had to do alone. As soon as we arrived at the door where Discord was resting, a golden-plated door with two golems guarding it, dressed in tutus, while a sign above it said, "Abandon all yoke, ye who enter here," in neon purple. I rolled my eyes. Even when he was dying, Discord was still Discord. I opened the door, nodding to the pony doctor for privacy before entering his room. It was filled with flowers and pictures of those we knew long ago. Most of them featured Discord Fluttershy, but I could see myself, Twilight, and the others as well. Discord himself was on a big fluffy bed with an ivy and nose breather inside of him. Although, for some reason, the ivy was in his skull and the nose breather was in his left ankle. Again, Discord. With his aged face, he turned to me and smiled. "Ah, Spike, I was hoping you'd arrive before I kicked the bucket." While saying this, he snapped his fingers and a bucket appeared, followed by a boot. The boot knocked the bucket into sending a bunch of flowers into Discord's hands. "We're all ready for a big going away moment." He snapped his fingers again and his bed turned into a casket, and now wore the pink flower on it. The room was now decorated with candles, wreaths, and a banner that had RAP on it. "So, for my funeral, do you think you could have some jive music playing? God knows I hate organ playing." How can he be so calm about this? I wondered as I looked down at him in his casket. "You're dying." "Really? I hadn't noticed," replied Discord with a smirk. "Oh, come on now, Spike. Everything dies eventually. Even back in Equestria at my full power, I could still die. It would have been harder, mind you, but still." "Well, I'm glad that you're happy, because I sure as hey ain't," I shouted, knocking down one of the wreaths as tears threatened to fall. "Once you're gone, I'm alone again." "Spike, what have I told you? You're not alone," replied Discord, his joyful expression not turned serious. "Am I?" I asked with a wary voice. "Twilight's gone, the girls are gone, the CMC are gone, Ponyville's residents are all gone. Even the princesses are gone, and you'll be gone too." I closed my eyes and I felt a tear fall down. Why did I have to be born a dragon? "Don't go acting like you want to knock yourself off," replied Discord, glaring. "You promised me you'd live life to the fullest." "Well, I have," I shouted, glaring at him. "I spent the last 100 years or so teaching over and over again the mistakes made during the war like you said I should. I think everyone and their fucking emu knows how Equestria screwed themselves over by thinking they could take a race that perfected war, and ended up ruining their lives to the point where Equestria was nothing more than a mere memory. I've lived my life, I'm done with it, There was a silence because I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to say that I wanted to die, despite a part of me wanted to so badly. I didn't care if there was a heaven or reincarnation or nothing. I just wanted to stop the feeling of such pain in my heart, such loneliness. Ever since I lost Rarity and Pinkie Pie, it's been there, growing with every loss. Twilight had been the hardest, but I still had Fluttershy. Then when she passed on, and so did her kids. Only Discord was left, and now he was going to be gone. I was going to be alone. I hated being alone. I'd rather die than be alone. You really are an idiot, replied Discord, putting a dunce cap on my head. You were never alone. What are you talking about? I muttered. Rebecca, your friends at school. Your students who still look up to you, even after graduation. All the people and ponies you've met in your life ever since the peace. You mean to tell me that none of them matter and were nothing to you? Asked Discord. No, Spike, you're not afraid of being alone. You've been making friends for a long time, and you still do. Replied Discord, shaking his head. No, what you're afraid of is not being alive or dead, or even being alone. He stared into my eyes. You're afraid of being happy. I froze upon hearing that. For some reason, just hearing that made my entire body turn to ice. It echoed in my head. What? Spike, you're afraid of being happy. Replied Discord again, looking at me. Out of everyone we knew, the only ones who've ever died with true happiness was Fluttershy. Everyone else from Rainbow Dash to Twilight died with regrets or lived a life of misery before dying. Even I have regrets. He snapped his fingers and everything turned to normal as he rested on his pillow. Spike, you have a long life ahead of you. One that can be filled with joy if you let it. But deep down, you come up with excuse after excuse of not wanting to do it. I've read it so many times from you that I could write a play out of it. I'm not saying you won't experience pain in your life, that's unavoidable. But you can't let yourself suffer because you're afraid to follow your true desires. What are my desires? You want love. Replied Discord, smiling at me. You love Rebecca, and I know she loves you. She wants you to make the first step, but you're afraid. Of course I am! I shouted. I'm a dragon, she's a human, I'll outlive her, I can't give her children. I could hurt her, there's a million things that can go wrong. I'm better off just being her friend. But you will regret it. Replied Discord, sighing. You will regret it for the rest of your life, just like I did with Fluttershy. He snorted upon seeing my mouth drop. Oh come on, nobody noticed it? I fell in love with her the moment she forgave me for my betrayal. Why do you think I sided with her during the war? I loved her, Spike. I love her even now. But why didn't you say anything? I kept thinking it wouldn't work out, because I was a different race. I was going to outlive her. I wouldn't be able to give her children, even with my powers. He then smiled and raised an eyebrow. Does that sound familiar to you? I didn't answer, but I knew what he meant. It was the same amount of excuses I kept giving myself as to why I couldn't fall in love again. I looked into those eyes full of regret below me, and I wondered if I was looking at my future self. Dying in some bed, alone, with regrets all around me. Never once knowing what it was like to be in love or have a family. I just looked down and mutter, do I deserve it? Deserve what? To be happy? I asked weakly. How can I be happy knowing that everyone else suffered so much? Because they'll want you to be. Replied Discord, reaching out and grabbing my claw. You don't need to feel guilty that you lived and they died. You have the right to be happy, and they'd want you to be happy. You may be teaching others of the mistakes of the past, but have you been really using the lessons on yourself? He smirked before coughing. Tell her, Spike, and if you fall in love again, tell that one too. Keep telling them, adopt kids, live life to the fullest, and die happy. Die without regrets, like I did. Discord. I whispered, tears in my eyes. Discord gave one last smile as his eyes closed. Better to have loved and lost than to never love at all. And just like that, his eyes fully closed and he stopped breathing. I stood there, silent and not moving. He was gone. The last of my friends was gone. His words echoed in me as I stood there, wondering if he was happy now. I looked around at the photos, at all my friends, and saw their smiling faces. Was he right? Was I really afraid of being happy? Did I really feel guilty of trying to have some joy in my life while my friends suffered until their end? Was I... Boo! Shouted Discord, making me scream like a girl and forcing me to jump. Sorry, just one last joke, he muttered before he slowly started to fade away. I watched in awe as the spirit of chaos slowly became ethereal and then was gone in a small flash of light. A part of me wanted to bring him back from the dead and pound him for that. But I just chuckled and shook my head. Even in death, he was still Discord.